Hey everyone, good afternoon. Hope you guys are doing well. Happy Saturday. Wanted to do an unboxing video today. This just came in from DHL, and this is going to be in the realm of cookware, actually. Something kind of interesting I've been doing a lot of research on. So it's going to be a 3-part video. I did do a little bit of planning this time, but part 1 is going to be an unboxing of it. Part 2 is going to be preparing this thing, and then part 3 kind of the test to see if what my hypothesis has been true on all the research that I've done for this. So long story short, excuse me, long story short, the interesting thing is when this arrived, you can hear that. Ooh, wasn't packed very well. When I picked this up, I was like, damn, what's going on? Okay, so without further ado, here it is. It is a carbon steel pan. So essentially, it's a hunk of metal. There you go. That's what it is. It's a piece of metal. It's from this company called Darto. D-A-R-T-O. It says Sartens de Aro, www.darto.org. It's nice and sticky because it's basically a piece of metal. It's not coated, so they have to kind of have some sort of coating on here so that it doesn't rust. And in here, the things that were kind of shifting around are these little pans, kind of cute. They're keychains, and I figured the cool thing is they give these for free. With a purchase of anything, you can get up to 5. I didn't want to get all 5, won't need them, and I got 3. Just, ooh, it's not zooming in. There we go, Darto. It says Darto, Argentina. And the top says, I cannot read. Oh, maybe that is Argentina in a non-English. Argentina, they speak Spanish. Yeah, Brazil is Portuguese. My face is in the way. Ooh, how about this? Anyways, so it's a little pan, kind of cute. I mean, you can't cook anything with it. It's a keychain, but that was kind of cute. So I got 3 of them. Okay, coming back to it. Here's the pan. So, kind of my journey here that I went down. I've been really wanting. I'm gonna look at my notes here. I've been looking for a non-Teflon, so a PF. I'm gonna get these. Yeah, I've been looking for a non-Teflon pan, mostly to make eggs because I like to eat eggs. I usually pan fry eggs, so I wanted a non-PFSA. PFSA is polyfluoroalkyl substances, essentially like Teflon, or PTFE, polytetrafluoroethylene. And the reason why I want to get away with this is kind of twofold. One, I'm sure you guys have used like a non-stick pan before, and after using it for like maybe a year, tops 3 years, the non-stick becomes stick. And I baby my pans. Like I don't use metal utensils, and I put oil on them when I cook my egg. But it's just like after still a few years, it starts to get non-stick, and you can only imagine like either washing it too hard, and I wash it with like, a soft sponge, not like the rough part, the green side of the sponge. You're either washing it off or you're eating it. So I'm sure you're eating a little bit because as you wash it and you push some of it off, and then you imagine eating it. And the second thing is like these pans they're made of steel, but they're coated with like Teflon, and similar to Gore-Tex, like Teflon stuff just never breaks down, so it's horrible for the environment. And so you end up just throwing them and they go to the landfill. So I guess the third thing is it's a waste of money because then you got to buy a new pan all the time. And although pans, I usually just buy the pans on sale when I find them and I stock up. I'm just getting so tired. And so I kind of went on this journey on the internet to like see how can I find a, what? Sorry, I was raising my desk to raise my camera here on screen. Anyways, I went on a journey to find out like, how can I find a pan that has no Teflon and that doesn't stick? And there's kind of like three different types of, or four different types of pan. There's non-stick, there's stainless steel, there's carbon steel, and then there's cast iron. So everyone says cast iron is probably the best, but they're really heavy. This is not light, but cast iron is really heavy, really great for cooking. And once you get like the seasoning and you keep cooking and you don't clean it, you have the oil build up and it sinks into the metal, it becomes really non-stick. You still need to use oil or butter, but yeah, but it's too heavy. Carbon steel is kind of in the middle, and it's got the benefits of cast iron, but it's a little bit lighter, and I think it doesn't retain heat as well, but also heats up a little bit faster. And then there's stainless steel, which is what I've been experimenting with recently. And if you guys want to see a video about that and how to cook an egg with stainless steel, everyone talks about you got to do the dancing water thing if you Google it. But there's the one key thing that they don't tell you that I figured out through like reading on the forums of Reddit and a lot of fun stuff about eggs. But anyways, if you guys are interested, I'm more than happy to do that video, or maybe I'll get into it in video 3. Anyways, so then, yeah, so long story short, my goal was to get away from Teflon stuff. So there's also like ceramic non-stick pans, which they say they don't use like those chemicals like PFSA or PTFE. And for those that don't know, and I didn't know this either, ceramic pans are not really ceramic. Ceramic is a very expensive material. And if you buy, and even when you go buy these pans, they're a bit more expensive than the usual Teflon ones, but they're not that expensive. So you kind of know, you pay for what you get. It's not ceramic. So what they actually are, I don't know why they're called ceramic, but they're metal pans with a silicone coating. So it's good, better than the Teflon stuff because it's a silicone coating. But I recently started using a ceramic pan, and within like 3 months it started sticking. So it's not as non-stick as a Teflon pan. And then again, also it just goes to waste. Like you throw it out in a year and then it just goes to the landfill. Like, I don't know, I guess just trying to do my part to like not dump so much garbage into the world here. So anyways, moving on, there's also titanium pans. And like, they're not too common. So titanium, my understanding is like the titanium is kind of like a stainless steel, except there is this titanium always pan pro. And this is not an advertisement. I know they spend a whole bunch of money on like influencers. I'm not one of them. And they had this like lotus leaf technology where the pan has like little divots, and then because air can get underneath, it's non-stick. It's not truly like a forever pan. They call it an always pan or a forever pan. And I've heard it's been a nightmare to clean because when you rub it with like paper towels or with your little sponge, your Scotch-Brite, it just rips it apart. So kind of a no-go. Like, you know, if you can't clean it, like, or at least like wipe it down after using it, it's kind of a no-go. There's a lot of videos on this. The titanium always pan is really expensive. Everyone complains about how they have that hole for the stupid metal, wooden spoon, but just be wary because like if you read on Reddit and stuff, everyone's like, oh, this is like a scam company. So titanium always pan, but I'm sorry, it's not a scam company, but like it's expensive and it's not really all it's promised. So whatever. Stainless steel pans. So I have been recently starting to cook with stainless steel. It's very difficult. Most of the times the eggs will stick until you really get the fine-tuned down packed, and it's really difficult because you need to have good heat control. Stainless steel heats up fast, but it also cools down fast, so it's a little bit tricky, and you need to use a lot of oil. So kind of I thought to myself like, what's the trade-offs? Should I eat more oil or should I eat Teflon? Like, I think oil is probably a little bit better than Teflon. Worse for your heart, but maybe less cancer inducing. I don't know. So looking at, and I was like pretty set because I figured out how to cook an egg on stainless steel. I finally mastered the technique of the heat control and all that fun stuff. So I looked into it, and there's like All-Clad. It's expensive, but All-Clad, they used to have this patent where they patented like 3 different metals together. They squished 3 different metals together. So it's like stainless steel, I think aluminum, and then maybe copper, and then stainless steel. So it's a good one. My sister has one. She said it's the best, and I'm sure it's great. And then there's Heritage, which is a smaller company, similar to All-Clad technology, but the only difference is it's very difficult to buy in Canada. It's an American company, a small company. So I kind of, I was set on like buying a Heritage pan. I'm like, or maybe I'll just buy an All-Clad pan. But then I just did more reading. I kept reading more. I wasn't satisfied with my answer. And then I got into carbon steel. I never really looked at cast iron because it's just too heavy. Like cast iron is great for like searing a steak, but you can also sear a steak on the barbecue with a carbon steel. So like you literally get all the benefits, and it's a little bit lighter. So long story short, we started looking at carbon steel, and carbon steel has kind of 2 main players. One is Matfer, Matfer, and then there's Debouille. It's spelled like Debeuyer, like De Buyer. It's a French brand. I think they're both French brands, and they're expensive. But the reason, so the Matfer one, people said that they start to warp after a while, and they're kind of thin on the bottom. With the Matfer, that was the problem with the Matfers. Probably saying it wrong. And then, but the problem with the Debouiller was here, there's rivets on the inside. The Matfer, they kind of have it flush here, but the Debouiller, they have like rivets here. And with these carbon steel pans, you're kind of supposed to like never clean them. I mean, you can, but like only after it has like a pretty good season on this surface can you like go at it and maybe disinfect it with soap, because otherwise you're stripping the seasoning. But it's just, so a lot of times you cook your egg, and if I'm probably just going to use the cooked eggs, you just wipe it off with the paper towel, and then it's good for next time. And I guess when you're heating it up, you're kind of killing the bacteria anyway. So long story short, with the Debouiller, it had rivets here, so I figured like garbage and like food and bacteria would caught in there. So I really was happy about this one, this Darto one, small company, and it has no rivets here. It's one piece. It's literally just one hunk of metal. Like, that's awesome. The other ones were a handle that was riveted onto the pan itself. So, you know, they made 2 pieces and then they assembled them together. It's probably easier that way. Whereas this one, it's one darn piece. Like, I've read a lot of reviews where they're like, you can use this as like a defense weapon too. Anyways, so there's two other brands. One was Solid Technics. It was an Australian-based company. And then there was this Darto one. And I think this is gonna get more and more popular. If you read in the Reddit forums, and I'll do the homework for you, a lot of people are starting to notice this brand. They're pretty good. Like they don't do any marketing, and their theory is we rather just put money back in to the products and lower shipping. It was $15 to ship this from Argentina to Canada. They say they cover all the duties, which is pretty awesome. There's a really long interview with the CEO and founder. I think he's the CEO and founder at least, or the CEO. And he talks about like how he designed this pan. The other thing is, I think the Debouiller at the handle is very steep, so it's like awkward. The bad things about this Darto, everyone says, and which is true, the handle is quite uncomfortable. And I agree, it is quite uncomfortable. It is also a little bit heavier than the others, and it is quite heavy, but I guess because it's decently thick. Also, the other thing is the side here, you see, you get quite a bit of deepness, so you could cook maybe like a sauce or something as well. Whereas the Debouiller, the angle is kind of like this. And because the angle is like that, if you buy like say a 10-inch pan, you're only getting about 5 inches in the middle. Whereas this one, oh, I think this was I got the N25. Yeah, N20, sorry. N20, so it's 20 millimeters across. So I'm out of frame. 20 millimeters across, so 8 inches. But the cooking surface you get is about 17.5 centimeters, about 7 inches, which is pretty good. You can cook 2 eggs on here, which is great. I mean, the smaller one, I think the 20 or the 15 it was too small. And I thought, well, then I can like use less oil and eat less oil to cook an egg, but you can't even flip it. So anyways, so from here, next step here, I'm going to season this, and I will vlog, or I will share that process. I'm going to season it. Hopefully I do it right. And then step 3, I'm going to do an egg, and hopefully it's actually nonstick. I've heard nightmares about carbon steel as well. People are like, and my friend was like, oh, dude, it's not really nonstick, man. You're gonna regret this. So we'll see what happens. Last thing also I want to point out with the debouillé, make sure you get if you do get that one, which it's a great pan, other than the fact that, in my opinion, it wasn't great because it had rivets in here. But make sure you get the Mineral B Pro, not the Mineral B. The Mineral B, the handle is like coated, so you can't put it in the oven. Sometimes you want to like pan fry something, sear it, and then finish it in the oven. The Bouilleur Mineral Pro, this does not go in a very high temperature. The I said that wrong. The Mineral B does not go in the oven. It can, but only for like 10 minutes at 400 Fahrenheit, or whatever that in Celsius, 210, I think. Anyways, I still cook with Fahrenheit because all the recipes are in Fahrenheit. The Mineral B Pro is stainless steel here, so you can throw it in the oven for much longer. And so this one is cool because the whole thing is just carbon steel. It's just literally a big hunk of metal. So this can just fully go in the oven. Really cool. Here's the mini one, if you guys are curious. Yeah. Darto. So anyways, this is my unboxing. Maybe I can use this for my screenshot or my screen cap. Anyways, I don't know the word. Sometimes YouTube will capture that and say yes. Cool. Well, thank you guys for joining in today. I know it's been a longer video than it needs to be. Next up, tune in next time. I don't know if it'll be next week. Maybe. I'm excited to season this, but I might do something else next week. I know it's been not very comic-y related recently, but it's just kind of my channel, and I just unbox stuff and just like to have fun. I love seeing your comments, guys. Again, I really appreciate everyone subbing. Love you guys all. Let me know what you guys think of this pan, and let me know what you guys do. I want to know. Leave in the comments below. Are you a Teflon, when you make eggs or just general cooking, are you a Teflon person? Well, the problem with Teflon, other than you're eating it, is when you cook it, if you have it over 350 Fahrenheit, it starts to it releases toxins in the air. So careful if you guys are still using, if you guys are using a Teflon pan, don't heat it up. Remember, they always say put on medium heat only, so don't get it too hot. But let me know in the comments below, are you guys team Teflon pan, or are you guys into the ceramic pans? Are you guys into stainless steel, which is cool, very easy to maintain, very easy to clean. You can cook tomatoes, acidic food. Or are you guys into carbon steel, or maybe cast iron? Let me know in the comments below. I'm curious. I don't have a big channel here, but of the 400 of you guys that are subbed, I'd love to know sort of what you guys are into. And tune in next time, and we'll go through this journey together. And hopefully my research and my hypothesis is true, that I can finally have a non-stick pan to make eggs. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time. Bye.